Hey, Nonhill Nighthawks, we are going to be doing lesson 5 today. We are still in module 1, and we're going to be working on being successful when I can compare numbers using greater than, less than, or equal to record those comparisons. And we're still going to use the place value chart to help us compare. All right. So if I have two numbers and it wants me to decide, well, which one's greater? And we're going to use those signs of greater than, less than, or equal to show the comparison, okay? So using the place value chart is going to help us to do this. We can record our values. So I'm going to have 3,010. So I have 3,010 and I have 2,040. So when we're comparing numbers, we want to look at the greatest value first, because if the greatest values have different values, one's going to be bigger than the other, and then we'll be able to quickly tell which one has more value or which one has less. And in this case, I have my first number has 3,000s. My second number has 2. 3 is larger than 2, so we can quickly say 3,010 is greater than 2,040. Okay? You're going to get to where you don't need the place value chart. You're going to know your numbers so well that you'll be able to compare just by looking at the digits. But for now, I want you guys to work using the place value chart, because what if, which is going to be our next problem, what if our largest values are the same? So we're going to look and see what will that look like. All right, so here's problem number 2. So we are going to compare 43,021, 45,302. So when I said on the last one, we're going to compare the largest value. If we get numbers and their largest values are the same, so let's put it on our place value chart. And then 45,302. So now you can really see, well, my largest value is 10,000 in both numbers, but they both have the same value. So we need to go to the next place value. So now I'm going to look at this as 45,000 and 43,000. Because I have 5,000s, this one only has 3. That's going to make my 45,000 larger. So to finish our sentence, though, we're going to need to use our less than sign. So we're going to say 43,021 is less than 45,302. Okay, so, and I think we have problems where the first couple have the same value. You keep working down the place value chart until you can see the difference. Okay. Okay, here's another one. Notice our largest values are the same again, but we're still going to use that place value chart to help us out. So I have 2,305, and we're comparing that to 2,530. So again, see, our largest value is the same again. So we just work our way over until we see a difference. 2,000, 2,000, 300, 500. 500 is larger than 3, so that's going to make this number larger. But to finish our sentence, we're going to use our less than sign again. So 2,305 is less than 2,530. Okay, so when you guys are answering your Edpuzzle questions, I ask you to compare. Make sure you draw out the place value chart and place the digits, the numbers in before you compare. Okay. All right, so now we have numbers with value up into our 100,000s, but that's not going to change how we compare. Okay, so even though we get to these bigger numbers, we always look at the greatest place value first and then go down the line to compare. Okay, So if we look at 970,000, 970,461, and we're comparing it to 907,641. Okay, so here's a really good reason why we always need to start at the largest. Okay, you guys might look at the smallest unit and say, oh, those are equal. But when we look at these numbers, they're definitely not equal. Okay, my 100,000 place is the largest unit, but I have the same digits. So I need to move to the right. Now I have 7 10,000s and 0. So which one's larger? 970,461 or 907,641? Correct. This one's larger, right? Because I have 7 10,000s. This one has none. So it's going to raise 970,461 is greater than 907,641. Sometimes you're going to get asked to put numbers in order from least to greatest, and we're going to do that next, and the place value chart's still going to help us, okay? All right, so now we have 3 different numbers, and we're going to figure out which one's largest, and we're going to rewrite these numbers from greatest to least, okay? They all look kind of similar. I notice already that they all have the same largest value in the 10,000s. So we're going to have to place them on that place value chart so we can look by place value to help us put these in order. Okay, so 32,434. 32,644. Oh, I see another pattern. And then 32,534. Okay, so I can already see my largest unit, all the digits are the same. The value is the same. My next largest unit, all the values are the same. So we just keep going until we find differences. So we're gonna have to look at our hundreds place. So I have 400, 600, and 500. So which one of these has the largest value? If I read it as 32,644, that's going to be my largest value. So this one's going to be the biggest. That's largest. What comes next? 32,534. That's the second largest. And then the smallest number of the 3 is 32,434. Looking at it without the place value chart might have been a little confusing at first, right? You're like, well, they all look the same. Until you lay them out on that place value chart, you break it by place value, then you're able to really see the differences, okay? So if you get into a comparison problem or you get to a greatest to least problem, this place value chart's your friend, okay? You could draw it out whenever you need it to help compare. All right, so our next, and we'll do one more. So our next problem, we're comparing numbers in our different forms. So this we've talked about in our previous lessons. So we have expanded form, word form, and standard form. So this is comparing expanded form to standard form. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. You can rewrite it so they're similar, right? So when we compare things, we always want it to be the same form. So if I have expanded form, I want to convert that to standard form or vice versa, whichever one you want to look at. And then we can put it in our place value chart to really double check it. So I'm going to rewrite this as 730,028. Okay. Now when we look at that, it might be a little bit easier to differentiate which one's larger, which one's smaller. Okay, but I'm going to double check myself by using the place value chart. So I have 730,028. 735,008. Okay. So now when we're comparing, our first two largest values again are the same, 7733, but I get to my thousands and what do we see? We see a difference. So 735,000 is larger than 730,000. But because we have our 730,000 first, we're going to use our less than symbol to complete our sentence. So 730,028 is less than 735,008. Okay, we'll do one more with the different forms. Okay, here's our last problem for this video, and I ran out of room. So we're comparing 300,000s, 3,000s, 800s, and 410s to 303,840. Okay, so remember, I'm comparing different forms. That's going to be hard for me to see the differences. Put them in your place value chart or write them the same. Okay, this time I'm just going to show you how to transfer that into the place value chart and then compare. Okay, so if I have 300,000s, 3,000s, 800s, and 410s, don't forget, I don't have any value in my 10,000s and ones, but I still need my 0. Okay, and now I'm going to have my standard form, 303,840. What do you guys notice? Which one's larger? Which one's less? Or could they be equal? It's our first one that's equal. So we have 303,840, 303,840. So for this one, when we compare, we're going to use our equal sign. These are equal values. Okay. So if you guys have questions about comparing, make sure you send me a message through your Edpuzzle or through Google Classroom. And we'll be working on this more in small groups this week as well. All right, keep being all stars. I will see you guys soon.